My name is Leo Connors, and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Tonight, I got a very special guest, professional wrestler Frank Bones, and he's also from my hometown, Lowell, Massachusetts.
That's right, I am. Hell yeah. I'm honored to be here, Leo.
Thank you. I'm honored to have you, Frank. It's going to be a lot of fun. Where'd you grow up? We know where, but what part of Lowell?
Mostly the Acre.
Yep.
Originally, then I moved, the Highlands and then Pawtuckettville. The only place I seemed to stay away from was Centerville.
Oh, there you go. My kids grew up in Centerville, too. All right, when did you first see pro wrestling?
Oh, man, I got to owe that one to my Aunt Deb.
Yeah?
Yeah, she passed away, God rest her soul. That's it. I went to my first wrestling show with her. She used to let me, every time I went over her house or slept over, she put me, and I'd get to take her VHS tapes out and then watch the old ones. Like, oh man, so awesome. I owe a lot of why I even love wrestling to my Aunt Deb. You know what I mean? Like, she was really the only one out of my dad's brother and sisters that watched wrestling.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was just,
I'm jealous because I had nobody in my family like wrestling but me. But that's all right. I found it on my own. I still, so just your aunt, huh? How about any friends from school?
Well, that's where it all trickled down from. Because then, just like everybody who gets into wrestling actually finally gets into a real wrestling ring. I mean, where'd you stop? Most likely messing around in the backyard with your friends, whether it's, on a trampoline or on the hard ground.
So did you start watching it like the Attitude Era or just before the Attitude Era?
It was like, that's about close to when I fell off.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of things at home weren't where it was at. So I didn't really, that wasn't a full priority. But I watched it up until that era, and then almost like once, right around where Austin got his neck broken and all that stuff, and then I started to slip off, and then I got reattached to it close to when I graduated high school, back with my buddies, and then we actually started backyard wrestling again, just messing around, But yeah, it's just an amazing journey, honestly, how far it's and how it all trickles out.
You've been doing very well for yourself. Who are some of your favorites?
Wrestlers?
Yeah.
Oh man!
When when you first get your first ones you remember.
It starts with Hogan for me. I don't know, with all the intensity and stuff, and then Shawn Michaels was awesome. I love how he would sell. I'd throw his body around and let the other guy beat his ass. Even though he gets to win at the end. He was
incredible.
He put his body on the line, and he was like one of the first to do it before all these guys. And now it's just, a big acrobatic show now. Like, it's
absolutely.
It's tough to keep up with what the guys are doing now. They're 450 triple Indy spins.
Yeah, it's unreal. But some of it is like, I don't know, my opinion is useless. Some of it, not all of it.
When it's overdone, I mean, of course.
Like Will Ospreay talks like he's the greatest wrestler in the world. And he's not. He's the greatest acrobatic dude.
He does great spots.
And he's great. But the way he talks like he's the best. There's guys in AEW that, in my opinion, could put him on the ground and tie him up like a pretzel.
I miss the old, give him the story, a more simplistic match. If I punch you in the face, it actually hurts and it could knock you out. So these more devastating moves as a DDT or, like even in my repertoire as a wrestler, I do a few impactful moves, but a lot of them are just little striking moves and stuff to hit you to set up the big ones. You know what I mean? It's not, I'm not trying to go, and I never really try to go. I had an unfortunate accident,
Now, how you doing on that? Tell everybody what happened.
I mean, I'll never forget the date. Wrestling for NRG, August 28th. Can't really remember the name of the show, but I was going against great guys. Grasso was my teammate, and I was going against Chris Cruz and on the spot trying to remember his teammate. Chris Cruz and I ain't gonna eat up either way, I'm going for a double blockbuster. That's for people who don't know. That's a front flip off the ropes, and I gotta grab two guys at the same time and land all at the same time in a double neck breaker. Well, I didn't get a hold of both guys correctly. Devin Blaze. Chris Cruz and Devin Blaze.
Nice.
But either way, I didn't get a hold of both guys. And when I landed, there was my left ankle. And 2-hour ride back home. Go to the hospital. They told me, of course, I'm gonna need surgery. Broke 3 different bones in the ankle and tore the ligament that attaches my shin to my foot.
Right.
So it was like just hanging like a sack of meat.
Wow.
But yeah, a little less than a year, about a year, I started back, trickling in a little bit, rumbles, trying to feel it out. But now, just recently, I wrestled in Proving Ground.
Yeah.
I did my old entrance, front flip over the top rope, you know, like that Hangman Page deal. Yeah, and man, I never felt more better. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
To be able to,
that is awesome.
and just blessed. You know what I mean? Some people don't come back from things like that. I got a steel plate and 7 deadly screws in my ankle now.
What you do is a sport that you're bound to catch injuries. You know what I mean? Like
such an adrenaline rush.
Let me just say this once: like you look at a guy like, and I said it him too many times, Ivar.
Okay.
All the injuries that guy has gone on and he kept battling through it, then made it, right? You know what I mean? And he's still kicking butt, you know?
It, yeah.
But how many times could he have quit, and what would the people have said? Oh, man, it's too bad. It's too bad,
that's the difference in a mindset.
Exactly.
You know? If your mindset is, I'm defeated and I'm never going to come back.
Unless a man would have quit.
I gotta come back.
Right.
That's what I said. I mean, I got 4 kids.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Life's not exactly travel on the road easy for me. You know what I mean? And I don't live close to where all these shows are. I live in Hooksett, New Hampshire.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so when you said we're here in Nashville, I was like, hey, that's closer than these guys have to take the ride when they do the show, and I watch all these posts and stuff. Yep. So it's just amazing. I feel blessed to even be here with you, to be honest with you.
I'm glad to have you here, brother. I really am. And especially it goes even further, man. Being from Lowell, come on, man.
That's it.
All right. What you said your Aunt Debbie took you to your first show.
Yeah.
Where was that show?
Oh, it was in Boston, and I don't know if it was any specific show or a house show, but what I can remember, because I was so little, I remember them having me on their shoulders, so I couldn't be any bigger than 6 or whatever, but I remember that it was Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake against, what was it, Sid Justice he went by at that time, and Ric Flair, I think, was the main event.
Yeah, that's really the only match. They had a lot of tag team matches.
Only the match. Yeah, that's all I can remember from that show is like that little clip of a memory of like, wow, look at this. There's Hogan in real life, you know?
Yeah. That's wild, huh? When you see somebody like that big and
back then, things like that is just like, wow, like as I've gotten older, that stuff doesn't affect me as much as it does other people with like famous people, but damn, when I was a kid, I was blown away. You know what I mean? Just blown away. And I think that's just to be able to have that effect on someone else, and that's what it is. It's not even the mass of fans for me. It's the kids. It's the kids. I mean, when I got injured, I had this little girl bring me a get well soon card.
Nice.
And all this stuff like that.
That's awesome.
That don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
of course.
I owe everything to a few people in my life that kept me on a solid path to get here. You know what I mean? And one is my best friend, Phil. And I have to mention, and he actually brought me here. He gave me a ride here. You know what I mean? He's absolutely my best friend in the world. And I wouldn't be here where I'm at. I would probably be locked up. You know what I mean? To be honest with you.
All right. Well, how about your first indie show? Did you work it, or did you go to an indie show before you?
Well, geez, this is a crazy story. It kind of merges right in. It's a good segue. Being locked up, the guy who was in the cell next to me, he was dating someone's sister who is in WAW. Okay. Where if you don't know WAW, it was a little hole in the wall. You know, it was. For me,
it was fun, right? You had a good time doing it.
For me, that was everything because it was it made me get all these relationships I have now, and it made it where I am. But the first indie show after that, I got to go House of Bricks.
Nice.
And I don't know if you know the Baker, Mike Baker, and his sons. I mean, those guys are amazing, amazing people.
Yes, they are.
I owe a lot to him because he's quite honestly, we did a show for WAW, but I believe they paid T to do it in the Chop Shop, T Phoenix.
Yep.
So when he had that thing going, we did a show there, and I got to wrestle when they were Middlesex Express, Stephen Russ and Stephen Broad.
Yes.
Great guys, great friends of mine. We wrestled them, and it was me and my cousin Derek, and man, he gave us a shot. He said, come to House of Bricks.
Yep.
lo and behold.
Now, Derek, that was your tag team partner?
Yep. Also goes as Greedy Bones, right?
There you go. That's right. Yeah. He was the first name on the name game. And then the Middlesex Express was second and third, so we just banged out 3 guys.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's my brother, my true cousin. That's I would jump off a cliff with that.
Well, then you know someone that's near and dear to my heart. His ex, Robin.
I actually do, yeah.
I love Robin.
I was blown away when I found out that there was some kind of small world happening here.
Yeah, she's awesome, man.
I was
Her
like,
son,
wow.
Paul,
she is awesome. I get a lot of time.
She's awesome.
Her and my wife would go to shows and watch us tons of times.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was like House of Breaks, the RWA when I started getting involved with that. You know what I mean?
Robin's awesome, man. I love her.
Awesome.
All right. When did you know wrestling was something that you wanted to do?
I don't know. I feel like it was always within.
Yeah.
Because we always went back to it. Me and my buddy Phil that I spoke of, we always went back to backyard wrestling. And then as technology grew, we went from having this big camera that took whole VHS tapes
something nice
that kids don't even know what they are today.
I know. Oh my God.
To now, it just like it got to the point where now we can record a video and do commentary over it because it was only me and him. So we grew through time doing it, and then just being, going back to that, being locked up. And the kid who knew, that got us in. That kicked the door open for me.
Yep.
You fast forward, 8 years, 9 years now. Nice. I own 3 wrestling rings.
Nice.
I rent them. I've had almost 20 ring rentals this year.
No kidding. That's awesome, dude.
A lot owed to T Phoenix as well. He passes me. Sometimes schedules conflict.
Right.
And he
lets you know when he needs one.
God bless his soul. He's a good man. You know what I mean? So, this wrestling journey has took me on a whole, and I feel like I need something like that in my life to just keep me goal-oriented and keep pushing.
Right.
Or else I'm going to get stagnant, and who knows what I'm going to end up doing.
And that's not good. I can't. And you got 4 kids.
I can't have that.
You know what I mean? You can't be messing around like that. No. Exactly. I hear you. All right. So, in a way, then who trained you? Because I know, like you said, you got the WAW. And now, was there like anybody kind of training people, or was it just?
They would have their own little trainings, but it was really training within. Right. So it's whoever they deemed.
Right. Yeah.
So I would learn some stuff. Don't get me wrong. Some stuff. I got to work to the left and different things that I wasn't aware of. But some things going in there, I already came equipped, more skilled than them.
Right.
Right. Because I'm very fond of selling.
Right.
I like being the guy to get beat up.
Right. You seem like a guy that would pick things up quick, too.
And just honestly. And I used to do MMA too, so it's like it's a very easy transition, and I love just combative sports, football, hockey, just like you said, I love that stuff. So it's very easy, and it's entertaining. It's the kids, it's you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's
That's awesome.
I'm blessed, man. I don't even know.
I can relate to the kids because I work in an elementary school. And just the other day, me and my girlfriend went to Market Basket. These twins, they're kindergarten, boy and a girl. And the girl came running around and hugged me like you would not believe. Now, usually, I'm at the school. I'm like, no, but their mom's right there. And I look and then, and I just get the quick hug. But it was unbelievable. She wouldn't let me go. So I understand how good you could feel from a little kid at a wrestling show.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Adults, they're the ones who'd rather boo the bad guy.
Oh yeah,
when you're an adult, you'd rather get in that conflict. Let me heckle this guy. But for a kid, it's like I really like this guy. I want to cheer. So it's like somewhere in the age, it shifts, And
I've had guests come here and tell me that they honestly, when they were a face or a heel, they would if there was kids there, they'd get one kid invested, whether that kid's like, I hate you, and come on, man, you looking at the kid like you're trying, And I love that stuff. That's working.
That's it. There's 2 sides of it. You know what I mean? And I've never been on the other side.
Right. So what would it be safe to say that Brickhouse was the first guy that you gave you some professional help?
he would give me a lot of tips, pull me aside quite a bit, man, and outside. You know, I also I did a few weeks with Demon Ortiz.
Nice.
And I also can't forget to mention Mike Hollows.
Nice.
I did quite a few months with Mike Hollows every time he had one, and he was actually using our spot in Gloucester.
Nice.
Where I had our ring, he would come in.
Yeah.
But you know, the problem with every time there's doing training is the people ain't committed, right? It's wrestling. It's an open door. You know, I've seen people come and go, but it's are you dedicated? Are you a part of this business or not? Well, I can tell you with a steel plate, 7 screws, and I own 3 rings, I'm in it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm kind of in it now. You know what I mean? I don't have much of a choice.
Right. All right, well, tell us about your first match.
First match. Oh, boy. First match going in. Dang, if I can remember, outside of WAW, it was I was just in there to pretty much just to be the guy to get squashed out because these guys lost their team titles against Derek Conway and his team partner at the time, Thomas Andrews. That was my very first match, like in a ring per se. You know what I mean? House of Bricks. Damn, my nerves were going so much that day. It was. That's when you know it felt real. That's why, and it's such a shame that I can't fully. I don't know if it was Middlesex Express or a different team. I feel ashamed to not know this answer. You know?
It might have been Middlesex.
Middlesex Express.
I think it might have been my way in.
That's what Phil says, from sitting right over there. As our own fan
I know
in the
we've
building.
also had, when Eddie Vegas and Johnny Marta, they used to be a team, so I know we had some matches with them in the very beginning. And there was, Bosch, right? He was in a team, the Knights of Destruction or something like that. He was in a team. We fought them early in our career.
Okay.
First match, Dick Lane and Judge Logan Chambers.
Nice!
Laws of Science.
Wow.
Got it.
Wow.
Got it. House of Bricks.
Awesome. I'd like to get Logan Chambers in there. I've had Dick on a couple times, and I'd like to get him in.
So glad I remember that because I would have felt like an ass, to be honest with you.
That's awesome. All right, we're going to get to the fan questions. Carrie Desick, what made you want to be a pro wrestler?
I just love to entertain. A lot has to do with who we touched on, my Aunt Deb and people who kept me with my head in the right place, but really, it's just I love to entertain. I mean, I got suspended from high school from tripping
because I got plenty of times I got suspended.
My thought was I'm gonna walk in here, pretend to trip, and hit my head on the desk.
Right.
And I did that, and in turn I got suspended from school because I made everyone believe it. Right. So I knew I was good at something, but just I gotta angle it in different places. So I just feel like within and just the right influences within my life made me always want to perform.
Awesome. All right, Travis Mullet Man Hinton. You know Travis?
I believe so,
He works up in Vermont.
Yep.
You know, tell him, man, you want some bookings up there. What's your favorite match ever? And the way I read it, I think it's your favorite match. I don't think it's your match. I think it's your favorite match. Yeah, like, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels. Those are 2 of mine. But.
Dang, I'll have to say, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels in that cage, right? That was pretty epic. And Austin and Bret Hart, what was it?
The I Quit.
Yeah, that I Quit match. Can't never forget that one. So
the double turn where they both turned.
Both great matches. I like great wrestling, you know what I mean? So it's a little hard. I don't pick like that. I wouldn't pick the ones you'd expect, you know?
Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, they were just incredible matches. But I mean, Undertaker had matches with Mick Foley that were
when he throws him up there, I mean, that's just stuff you can't beat. You can't match those
26 years ago,
things,
just the other day. 26 years ago.
That's why, to me, it's the wrestling. Really?
Yeah.
26.
Yeah, I want to say it was like 2 or 3 days ago.
I remember sitting there watching with all my buddies, man.
Oh, yeah.
His tooth coming out his nose.
Yeah, but that was after he went back in the ring and climbed up again.
I don't even know.
Dude, what was worse? What was worse? Honestly, I think the going with his back coming down was worse than when he went. Because listen, He was thrown off, but he threw it. You know what I mean? All it was just
because he threw be pure adrenaline and everything else. And plus, he's just a different kind of man, right?
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
Not everyone's going to get up and do that. You know, they'll throw up the X real quick. Something like that happens now. There's not.
Yeah, he had no fear of hurting his body at all, man.
Yeah,
you know, he was one of the greatest bumpers, and not really technically the greatest bumper, but just because he would take.
He would just do it. That's what he was.
Exactly.
In the beginning, that's what he's known for.
Remember when he used to do the off the edge of the ring
right
to the floor?
Break his hip every time.
Yeah, Gino Martino started doing that around here, and it was incredible.
Yeah, it's great, but it adds up, right? It's a punch card. It's a punch. You keep hitting it. You keep, and that bone's going to soften up.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Jason Colella. You know Jason? Who's your favorite wrestler and why?
Who's my favorite wrestler
Jason
and why?
Colella.
All time after,
who's your favorite wrestler and why?
Right now, I'd still have to say, Shawn Michaels, I'd probably say. You know, he's the one who, look how many people doing the super kick. Look how many people doing the things that he was doing first.
And only he threw good ones because he knocks people out with the super kicks. Everybody else is super kick.
With the first one,
he's Madden. He's Madden.
I love it, yeah. Heck,
you know?
Yes.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like the Young Bucks. They took an incredible move that you could hit from up. You know what I mean? Like
it's cool, it's entertaining, but it's meaningless now.
Yeah, that's
why I like old school. I want it to look like a fight. I want it to look not fully all put together.
No, I hear you. Absolutely, I mean? Absolutely. Yeah, you kind of want to be the guy that go, that was make believe, but they think I'm real.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Seriously.
Yeah. And that's what I want. I'd love to bring that kind of style back,
Yep. All right. Ken Watson.
Ken Watson.
Yep. Which do you find more enjoyable to be in, singles or tags?
Oh, and I've had quite a bit of both.
Right.
My journey in the beginning was only tag teams.
Right.
Once.
That's kind of good, though, in a way to start the business.
It was everything. Just to be doing it and doing it on the road with my cousin, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what the world was outside of that.
Yep.
And I don't even think a lot of promoters did because it was only known as, hey, this is CIA, this is our package, this is what it is.
Right.
You know, once he had to take some time off due to, just family and things like that, it's like some people didn't know how to use me, or they're still gonna book me. I don't know. You know what I mean? I was only involved in a couple places, so and I didn't go to their traditional trainings that they did.
Right.
So
a lot of times in tag teams, one guy goes away and they're afraid to book the other guy because they're like, well, what if he doesn't want to do anything but be a tag team?
Well, that's it. But I would soak everything in. So every little thing, Mike Baker or Stephen Lust on the side or anybody would tell me, I would soak it all in.
That's good.
And that's I can't brush any of it off because I don't know anything. Right. I just got here. You know what I mean? Like
that's good. And that's a great attitude to have.
That's what it is. And in some ways, I feel like I'm blessed to be here. And I don't, I don't know if this all goes away, or if this is just a beginning. You know what I mean? And that's awesome.
You seem to have a good head on your shoulders because what do they say? Eyes and ears open, mouth shut.
That's it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until you have to ask. Obviously not shut when you're asking questions.
But of course, you gotta.
All right, Steven Russo.
Yeah.
Do you miss the times in Gloucester?
I do miss a lot of times in Gloucester. We had a lot of matches that never see the light of day.
No kidding.
Right? Because it was, unfortunately, it was during the COVID years, right? So I had that building for 3 years in Gloucester.
Wow.
Where I had my 16-foot tall boy set up in there, and me and a group of maybe 8 to 12 of us would go there, and we'd put on what we would call a weekly show, right? We'd do some matches and mess around a bit. And honestly, I mean, I've had some great matches that deserve to see the light of day. I fought my own cousin Greedy in that for one of the first times, and we had a match that deserves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people threw me through walls in that place, but things that'll never see the light of day, nonetheless. And it's unfortunate, you know what I mean? Because there's still people out there doing that type of stuff where there's no one watching them, and they're out there throwing them,
and killing each other for nothing.
It's crazy, but it's just this crazy adrenaline thing, fans or no fans, that you're doing it. That's why it doesn't even, people it doesn't matter.
Well, they say, man, once you get like that itch of entertaining, that it's something that just is unbelievable. Like you just want to keep doing.
That's it. Yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
Without a doubt.
That's very cool. So freight train then.
Of course.
All right, that's cool. He was on the name game too.
Freight and he did a lot of time in Gloucester with us too.
Time.
Yeah, he
Good
came
man.
to Gloucester. Yeah, him and his son.
His son, yes. Caleb Manson.
Wrestling Caleb Manson.
Yeah.
Is his wrestling.
Yep. All right, Paul Andrew. Who were some key influences when it came to your wrestling as you grew?
Yeah, so I think a little bit of that we touched on, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just my Aunt Deb, obviously, and just people who kept my head in the right direction, you know? And I honestly owe a little bit to him as I was trying to make a theme song, right? Because I knew I was making a turn, right? I'm turning heel soon. I've only been a face, a good guy for the whole time in my wrestling career, so I've never been see what it's like on the other side. So it's kind of like a whole new world for me. And I was going in there to make a theme song. He knew of a studio.
Right.
I go in there to record, and then all of a sudden now I'm let's go. Let's make an album. Let's start.
Wow.
And I haven't stopped writing since. You know
That's
what I mean?
awesome,
I have like
man.
6 or 7 notebooks.
Yeah.
I got all.
That's incredible, dude.
And I'm performing my first show in Raymond, New Hampshire here.
Yeah, at the Nails Fest.
It's fantastic. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing double.
That's
I get to
pretty
wrestle,
awesome, man.
and I get to do my rhymes on top of renting my wrestling ring. So it's like
nice. You're making money.
Yeah, it's a little
That's
trifecta.
awesome, Frank.
You know
That's
what I mean?
awesome. All right. Ken Watson and Frank, you could say it was Kenny B. Dunn. It's okay. Ashley Marie, love you, babe.
Yeah, my wife, yep.
Billy Vox, hardcore.
Yeah.
Who are your biggest influences in wrestling?
Biggest influences, growing up, it's
Shawn.
It's got to be, I mean, Shawn Michaels, and then Hogan originally, but then just watching it, it's Mr. Perfect. It's Jake the Snake in his promos. It's each guy, if you specifically watch them, they all have. That's why they're there. That's why they're on that stage.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm blessed to be on this stage. But dang, if I could read something like that, I wouldn't know. My world would. I wouldn't even know. You know, it's that's amazing. But definitely those guys, just great technical wrestlers. Bret Hart as well. I mean, just great technical wrestlers. You don't have to do any gimmick. He's just gonna out wrestle you.
Yeah,
okay. You want to go in the dungeon?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why don't you go roll around with my father?
Kid, you want to wrestle? You know? Right? Like,
you go lay down with Stu, and next thing you know, you're unconscious.
You really couldn't come from a better.
He used to not only tie you up, but then put his hands
stop
over
your breathing and really mess with you. Yeah. Well, that's it.
Insane.
Because it's wrestling. Back then it meant something.
Right.
It's
I loved it when
Not
Jerry.
that don't mean anything now. Don't disrespect. But like it was, you can't be caught, right? You can't be caught doing.
Oh yeah, when he used to
lollygagging with your hits, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
that's funny. All right, Stephen Murray, way to go, Frank Bones.
Thank you.
Bobby D, you know Bobby D, Robert Moore.
That's
Frank Bones has a lot to say about his career, man. He has lots of broken bones, but still get things done. I was right beside him at Fenway Park. I'll be listening. Thanks, Bobby D.
God bless his soul, man.
He is awesome guy,
I tell you, when I did that rental for Bo Douglas in Fenway, that's how I met him, right? He comes up, and I didn't have too many people help me. Me and a couple of my guys.
Right.
And this 70-year-old man comes up, starting to lug stuff. I say, hey, well, you don't have to. And that man is a soldier, and God bless him.
He's an awesome dude.
Really,
man.
I mean, he's just so awesome.
Just a great guy.
And ever since then, he's
his
just
wife's awesome
nothing
too.
but help promote and help to push my name. So
that's Bobby
I'm
D
on
for
this
you.
show, for him talking to you. So it's, I owe a lot to him as well.
Yeah, great guy, Bobby D. All right, Dan Elwell.
Okay, yeah.
Out of all the promotions you're now in, which championship would mean the most to you to win?
I'm going to give you that Tom Brady, Dan. The next one.
The next one. I was going to say, know. Yeah.
AJP, here I come.
I know who that is. All right, James Hurley. I'm a big fan of Frank Bones. Pound for pound, he's the best wrestler out there.
That's family support right there. That's a lot of love.
That's nothing wrong with that.
That's my uncle. And
there's my
that's a lot of love. That's it, yeah.
My family says Kevin Polito went to school with Frank.
Yeah.
Love to see him living his dream. Thanks,
that's
Kevin.
It. He knows.
Kevin, send that $50 over Venmo, please.
Yeah.
I only won it a week ago. All right. Dan Ruckus, what is the coolest move you have ever done?
coolest move I've ever done is probably, I mean, if it ain't the Hangman Page clothesline, I'd have to say it's either the springboard curb stomp I do, or I've even invented a new one. I don't even know what to call it yet. Is I do a skin the cat, and when I get perched up at the top, I release and give the guy a back senton.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, those are all like nice little flashy. I like little flashy moves, but not ones that are putting me at total risk.
Right.
Because I can tell you, I'm never doing no blockbuster to nobody again. You know what I mean? I ain't doing that.
Yeah, no. After having a bad injury like that, I would want to stay away.
Try
from
to keep
that,
my feet below me.
Yeah. All right, Dan has two more. Who has been your favorite matchup so far? Who has been your favorite matchup?
Me wrestling? There's a few guys. It's hard to even. I mean, Sean Lita, right off the top, and then Johnny Psycho. He would go by in WAW, otherwise known as Jeff Dusham.
Okay,
but I've had some epic matches, like, you know, and it's just. I've had so many good matches with all these guys. All, you know, I mean, I get along with everybody in the locker room because I'm very quiet and I don't. You know,
you're a personable guy, though.
I love it. Yeah, I just love it, man. I try to soak it all in because I still go with the notion that these guys all have been here before me, man. And I'm even blessed to even ever get to win a title.
And that's a good way to look at things as you go into a locker room.
Like, I mean, if you're not humble and you think like, I'll still help with rings. I mean, sometimes I'm going to dump my own ring, set it up, and I'm going to another show to go wrestle, and then got to deal with my own problems, and I'll help, both ways. So, but there's people, they'll just leave right away, and they feel entitled that they. So, I mean, it's teach his own.
Right.
But I just don't like to leave anybody hanging like that. Someone doing hard work, I'm no slack to, I was hopping around with one foot still putting my ring together for promotions the week after I got surgery.
Money.
Yeah,
that's hard work, dude.
I can't stop,
you can't stop. No one gives you nothing.
Well, that's it. Yeah, you know that, yeah.
You sure do. All right. He has one more. What is the best post-match snack?
Post-match snack?
I know
what is that?
Mine
That's Dan Ruckus?
Even though I don't have Dan Ruckus.
Oh, man. Honestly, I'm always so nervous. I mean, I don't even eat till I get home after the show completely. Like, I have to settle down. I don't eat before.
Right. Because you're all wound up. I hear you.
Sometimes I'll even be out there and be hiding, dry heaving. You know what I mean? Because I get so worked up. It's not that I'm gassed. It's I can't even get my nerves settled. This is a lot.
It definitely is. It definitely
and
is.
I just I feed off that though. You know what I mean?
Nice.
It's so great. Yeah.
All right. Just so anybody knows, I like a nice doobie.
Edible, shout out to my wife as well. That's her last name. So
All right. David Baker.
Hey.
Those are generic wrestling questions.
That's right. Get him.
How about you ask him his favorite rapper is?
That's right, baby.
And what influenced him to want to put out music? So there you go.
Oh, man.
Who's your favorite rapper?
My favorite rapper would have to go down as number one favorite rapper. The best in the game would. It's tough to say. It's Eminem is the best.
Yeah.
But who influenced me and who I feel is the best?
Yeah.
And is Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, Busy Bone, Crazy Bone, Lazy Bone, those three.
The bunch of bones.
Listen, it's
Smoking Bones and Frank Bones.
Yeah, all bones all the time, baby. Yeah. I ain't.
That's cool.
No, it's just that and then DMX. It was honestly it was a lot of that. It wasn't. I was never a rock and roll guy too much. I love the golden oldies. I like classic rock. I don't, but. Rap,
rap. There's nothing wrong with rap, man. There's good music.
Well, that's right. It's like flavors, baby. It's flavors.
Yeah, and what influenced you to want to put out music? Would
probably
it be that Paul Andrew?
No, he helped me get through the door of my first studio.
Okay.
But I'd have to say it's my cousin Greedy,
nice.
Derek. I mean, I watched him. We would be in circles, right? We're kids. We're maybe drinking a little underage. Don't do that, by the way.
Yeah.
Children.
No one's going to listen to that. If they want to drink, they're gonna. I'm not telling you to drink, but
But either way, what we would do, oddly enough, is we would get in circles and we would rhyme.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we would do. And then he would get studio time and he was making songs. And I always wondered, man, what if I sat down and wrote, but I never did it? And then Paul getting me in there was the open door, and now here I am. I think I got like 30 songs cooped up, ready to all be refined.
Yeah. And you can find your own beats right online, like
yeah, honestly,
you know what I mean? My buddy Joey makes his own music, and that's what he does.
That's it. Yeah, I got a free app that I have downloaded that I showed a bunch of these guys. I
my buddy's
make my own beats
too, and he raps.
I bring it to the studio, and then he perfects it, recreates it better than I would, and then we go. And it's so cool. Awesome. Yeah,
that's awesome. Now you're living your dream twice.
Yeah, and I don't even know what that rush is going to be like until July 6th. So this is that's going to be a whole different thing, you know.
All right, Kazit Justin Eldridge.
Yeah, he's the man who opened the door for me for Nails Fest.
How excited is he to perform at Nails Fest 24? Now, where is Nails Fest 24? Where is it going to be?
It's in Raymond, New Hampshire.
Okay.
Dang, if I wish
it's all right. All I got to do is look it up, man. If you, at least
it's in Raymond, New Hampshire. We've posted about it.
Nice.
But, yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. I've been doing nothing but getting ready and practicing.
What is this, like a festival, like 70 bands or 60
I believe it's
something.
I believe it's something that he's been building for some odd years now.
That's pretty cool.
In his backyard where he's got a bunch of land and he sets up a stage and gets people to come out. So he said last year there was like 200 or so people. Wow, and I've got quite a bit. I mean, my wife works in the dental field. She's bringing like her whole office of of dentists and dental assistants are gonna be showing up. Watching me wrestle and rap. So this is gonna be
that is awesome. So you're having 2 shows. You're gonna wrestle.
That's it. I'm doing both. Yes.
Wow. So, so this guy's a big wrestling fan.
He
must be.
I believe he's a part of something up in. I think he rents off of Cash, Davey Cash.
Oh, all right.
His ring for NQW, maybe I believe, and he wrestles up there.
That's cool.
In Fairhaven or up in that area. Yeah. And it's just a small world once you get in it, right?
Doubt.
I mean, I didn't even know it existed.
Right.
You know?
It's pretty wild.
Can you believe that?
I know. That is wild. All right. Gerard Fredette. That's a big one. I know the Frank Bones who fought for fun wanted to be remembered as the guy who was there, who you could count on, a good person who put the show and story first, and as a guy who had more passion than anyone could know. But now, with the new mentality since the return, I'm curious if this was the last run, what does Frank want to be remembered for now?
What do I want to be remembered for now?
And honestly, he pretty much told you how you used to be and what happened. You're not the same guy no more?
Well, you know, it's out there in the land of wrestling. You know, like I told you, I've never been a heel. I've never turned the other cheek, so to speak. And just this last Saturday at Proving Ground, I did something that I would not normally do, and I gave a spinning back fist to AJP.
AJP?
And I let him know exactly how I feel.
Been here a couple times.
Yeah, I let him know how I feel about him.
Right.
You know,
he's a tough kid, too. He's a good wrestler, too.
Yeah,
he is.
He's great, man. He's great. But he's also had it all provided for him right there, just like my son has.
Yep.
You know?
Okay, I get you.
So there's a different path for everyone.
Right.
But my passion is there, you know?
You'll have some good matches with him, and definitely. Yeah, like you said, you can't take it away. He grew up in the business.
He
grew up in the business.
Had it. That was his playground, was a wrestling ring, right? So that's it. So, but my ambition to even and to go on his question is to be remembered as even a piece of someone who was known in New England wrestling. Yeah. Not just a ring guy or not just a guy who was from some hole-in-the-wall WAW, but an actual guy who gave a damn about everyone in every locker room I was in.
Right.
Who gave it my all, whether it was perfect or not, out in the ring. Yep. And my performance, and I always come correct. Right. You know, like I want to be remembered in that way.
That's good.
Bad guy or not bad guy on the wrestling scene, but I believe hard work should pay off.
Yeah,
and I was not friends with any of these guys when I got in. So for me to get the nod and even be up to be number one contender to be a champion, or even make it and become a champion, is like, to me, that's the ultimate blessing, because I'm just doing this for fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's what my whole gimmick came from, man. I fight for fun. It's because I do. I love it. I would get in the street fights walking down the street just from looking at someone. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Now we're walking across. I would call it the Lowell stare. I mean, you just stare, and you stare too long, you're fighting. Right? And that's where I grew up, you know? So it's just a different world, but it's just...
All right, so now this guy's got another question.
I know. He's a pain.
And if I could get a second question, I want to know how Frank feels, why it took so long for Leo to bring him on the show. Now, I know he would, Frank, that's for sure. I just want you to know that.
I would never. He's trying to stir the pot is what Tommy's trying to do, Tommy Stone.
I have been doing the show for a while, and I'm glad to have you on. And this definitely won't be your only time.
And I'll answer this in the best way I possibly can. Is I don't think I was deserving enough to be on here yet, right? I mean, what have I really done? All the other guys have, if not, they've been in the scene longer than me. Right. You know, so you're creating this show, this awesome thing for us, this platform.
I love doing it,
where I get to promote multiple things. I mean, that's it's all a blessing, anyways, and it's just, I don't know, it's. I think that's trying to stir the pot. You know what I mean?
Troublemaker.
We got to get you in the ring, Tommy Stone.
Big time troublemaker.
Yeah, he's stirring the pot.
All right, Felicia Rose Ellison, just tell him I said hi.
I love you. Yeah,
all right.
I love you.
All right. Ryan Andrews, why, Frank? Why? How could you turn on AJP like that and then followed up by Brickhouse Baker? Slaps leg.
Slaps leg.
Slaps leg.
Well, I think Brickhouse Baker knows why.
Yeah.
Because I didn't slap the leg when I hit him.
There you go. Nice. Yep.
And I let him know how I feel. He promised me after my injury, I'd be behind him. I was behind him. Yeah. I picked him up, upped his morale. He became the champ. I was supposed to be first in line. Right. He defended it 3 times before I had to have that 6-man match to earn it.
Right.
So who turned it back on who?
Very interesting question. Very interesting question. All right. Gagnon Dusty. This sounds like his name's supposed to be Dusty Gagnon.
Yeah, he's just a Dusty. Yeah. He's an old WAW. Yeah.
When are you going to take on Kane the Twisted Preacher again? He's itching for a match with you. I don't know Kane the Twisted Preacher.
That's because...
Nobody does?
That's it.
And Gagnon Dusty's his biggest fan?
Yeah. Well, he is him.
He is him, all right. Not the him is Carmelo Hayes, right? Not the same type of him. All right. Hey, guess who's back? Bobby D's back.
I love Bobby D.
Frank, we answer questions. Frank will answer questions his way. He has the reasons why wrestlers turn on each other. Frank does his business in the ring, big time. So tomorrow, ask him anything. I think that was a plug for the show.
That's it.
Bobby.
He's the man. He's constantly pushing.
I
mean, I couldn't ask for any better manager. I mean, this guy is just out there doing work.
And he plugged Pat Dillon.
He's out there. Yeah,
he is. He's like,
it's incredible.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah, from the lowest to the highest, he's out there. If he knows you and he loves you, he's gonna.
Yeah, he does.
I love
Very
him.
true. Now this kid is a wrestler, but I'll go by his real name. He was here a few weeks ago. Dustin Healy.
Yeah.
Who have been some of your favorite opponents since you started? I know you might have said but is there
I've said a couple
else,
names,
maybe a couple tag teams or something?
I mean, Middlesex Express, obviously one of the best tag teams I've ever wrestled and got to learn from. I owe a lot to Stephen Lust, you know what I mean? Secretly watching all his matches. He don't know what I'm doing. Right. But I watch him. I listen to everything he says. I go up, and he's probably one of the only people I go up and talk to in a locker room where I'll initiate a conversation if it ain't making a match with you. Yeah. So, it used to be Jeremy Bell, but that's, you know what I mean?
Unfortunately, Jeremy
and that's why I wear that on every uniform, no matter good guy, bad guy that I ever wrestle in.
Yeah.
No
doubt. And who are some people, he has more, who are some people you'd like to get in the ring with in the near future? And what would be a dream match that would be absolute magic? Is he fishing?
He's fishing.
That's all right, though. He's doing really well for himself right now.
Me and Joey have had some great matches. Dustin Healy. We've had some great matches in the Gloucester.
Right.
Like I said, there's like 3 years worth of footage, and we did it weekly.
Right.
So it's like 52 matches a year I had for 3 years that are not seen. You know what I mean? Like, and we've had, I believe, one or two encounters in Proven Ground, and this last one ended with me and him, but you know, the better man won in that one. So yeah, Dustin, I once I move on from AJP, you're more than welcome. And I won't lie to you, he will be the first one, I hope.
Nice. There you go.
You know, if I have anything to do with it, okay?
Yep. Very nice. All right. And then he said, I heard about what you did to AJP on Saturday. He promised you'd be his first title defense, but you weren't. Do you feel your action was justified? Now I kind of think so. I do. I really do. I'm sorry, AJP.
It's for other people to decide. I mean, they don't know the behind-the-scenes story. He told me that I'd be the first. I mean, people know what I've been through.
Right. Yeah.
So now, am I wrong to?
No, I don't think you're wrong. To be honest with you.
Maybe blindsiding him wasn't the best, but I mean,
it's wrestling.
Well, that's it. That's just giving the people what they want, right?
Yeah. And no heat, AJP. I'm just telling the truth, though. You know what I mean? You did tell him he'd be his first defense, and you had 3 before.
That's it.
You had your chance. All right, Anthony Mark Belkis. You kind of answered this already.
Yeah.
Top 5 rappers of all time.
That's it.
Know, like you said, Eminem, all the bones,
Eminem,
all the bones,
DMX for sure. Heck yes. We can go a couple even further. I mean, right now I'm listening to Tech Nine, Toby Njuku Dubambwikwe.
Okay.
If you don't know him,
I think my grandson likes him.
Yeah. It's 5-5, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's doing great right now. I've literally watched that dude all the way from his YouTube, and now he's got millions of dollars on a Transformers movie.
Wow.
You know, so it can happen, but you got to be grinding. You got to put the work in every single week. You got to be putting out content.
You can't make money in that field if you're not putting stuff out.
You're selling yourself, so you got to literally be out there, whether it's the streets or in the virtual world, every single day grinding. Yep. Right?
That's
what it is.
You're 100% right. All right. I want to try to get all these questions in.
I've been trying to answer them multiply because I read through them.
We got 10.5 minutes. We only got a few. Top 5 horror movies. This is, again, from Anthony Mark Belkis.
That's hard for me because I'm not much of a horror movie buff.
Sorry, Anthony, he's not a horror guy. We love you anyways. Thanks for your question. Ann McGee. How are you feeling? How did you keep yourself busy while you were recuperating? You kind of say you were doing ring rentals.
Yeah,
doing music.
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah, I'm trying to do the music thing.
It's good.
And I was still just doing ring rentals, and a lot of help was to my sidekick, Richie Mack. You know, Richie McFarlane. He's doing the ring rental thing with me. He's my driver because I never got a license. I don't drive, and I never will.
That's fine.
People think it's weird, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
But yeah, just doing that with him is incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, moving on. Yeah.
Awesome. Joe Ferraro. There's a certain RWA championship that's rightfully yours. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What RWA championship should be yours?
Well, that's it. I mean, it's.
Is that it? No,
I got injured.
AJP happened at Proving Ground, right?
Yeah, well, that's it. It's like it's a twisted circle. All the indie promotions is what it is.
No, I hear you. Yeah. No.
As much as I stayed the same as a face as I'm moving to all these other promotions, some guys are good guys, some guys are bad guy.
Right.
And what had happened was I got injured at NRG in Fairhaven.
Yeah.
But I was the champion for T Phoenix.
So you had to give the belt up? So you had to give it up?
One of the worst things I've ever had to do in wrestling, dude. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, relinquishing.
Even right now, it makes me feel a certain way. I just can't even believe I blew it, dude. I feel like
But you were out for a year, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the right move, though, right?
Well, no matter how hard it stunk, I can't walk. Yeah, I was in a...
No, I hear it. That really does stink. But like you said, man, you're out a year. That was the right thing to do.
As he was saying, because I had to give it away, I never really lost it.
Exactly. So...
But it's been tough to even get out that way because...
Who is the champ right now? Who holds that belt? AJP?
I don't think it's AJP.
Okay. I was going to say that would have kind of been.
The first person that won it after me was Denzel Jordan.
Okay.
And
he might still be the champ, right?
I think I might have fallen off, and I feel ashamed to even.
That's all right. If you don't remember, don't worry about this. You got a lot on your mind,
There's been so much. Yeah, I got a lot. Yeah, it's been a lot. I don't even know how.
4 kids.
Yeah, on top of all the other stuff. Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, it's dang.
All right. Guess who's back again?
Oh, boy.
Bobby DeMore. Bobby D. My first question is, why did we become close? That's my first question, brother. You already said it.
Hard workers find each other.
Man.
You're a hard worker. Yep. You're a decent guy. There's no way.
Right.
You know what I mean? You find love within that,
yeah.
right? This guy's the only guy beside me sweating.
Yep. And honestly, you know what I mean? And I understand when you said that, though, because I've come to do jobs for the concessions, and Bobby D's there.
Yeah.
He's the first one that come and ask you if you want help.
I grow to have more appreciation for those guys and the guys under.
Too.
Like I grow to have more appreciation for those type of guys than I do the guys who are working. Because sometimes I mean, first of all, I don't want to speak, but you know what I mean? We're not making a ton of money out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're all trying to put the show on together, man.
I just want to tell you this. I've been at a wrestling show when the show's over.
You know?
Right? The show's over. And you're watching all the guys working, and then I see the guys that are not really helping. They walk over.
Well, they've already left.
But there's guys, though, that still pretend. They walk over, they lift it up, and then they put it down, and then they walk away. I swear to God, then they come around.
That's so great.
And I know somebody, I'll tell you off
don't even know what to do with this stuff.
He's a talented kid.
That's so great.
But I watch this one kid do it. He did so much walking to avoid doing any type of work. I'll tell you after. It's funny.
Oh, it's great.
All right. Melinda Ramos. Hey, Frank Bones. I am a fan way over here in upstate New York. My question is, at what age is a good age to let a child train for wrestling? So, I mean,
it's tough. I feel like it's depending on if they don't know anything about it or you're just trying to get them freshly started. I feel like, and you don't know anything about it as your parents, then I feel like you should just at least wait until they're 16 or 18 because nobody should be bumping around a ring, wasting precious bump card bumps.
And you kind of want to know who you're sending your daughter to.
I find myself, well, that's it, and I find myself to my kids even saying, like, stop bumping so much. Stop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
you're going to hurt yourself. You're not really
Let's learn how to wrestle. Let's learn how to wrestle. You don't have to hurt each other first.
Right.
And we'll save the bumping for later, you know?
How old are you?
It varies right now. It goes up the list. My oldest daughter, Mercedes Elizabeth, she's 11.
Yeah.
Right? And then, 12.
That's all right.
Correct me, 12. Yeah. And then
I thought my son was 33 and he's 35.
About to be a teenager. My son Cam, he's 9. He's about to be 10, and then my 2 littles, they're like twins. But
they're not twins.
No, they're 11 months apart. Lincoln and Olivia.
We're busy, Frank.
Yeah, that was the COVID years, right? We're all locked up.
How old are they? Said 3?
They're 4 and 3. Yep.
Wow,
yeah.
That's cool, man. And they're both boys?
No, girl and boy.
Okay, so who's the 4-year-old? The boy?
Yep. Lincoln.
So you got
a girl, boy, girl.
Yeah. Like
I got 2 and 2, and we close the doors.
That's awesome, right? Man. That's awesome. I got 3 kids, so
that's awesome. Yeah, it's great, man. It's just
being a father is the greatest thing in the world, man.
I would not trade that for anything.
No doubt. All right, we got a couple more questions.
Here we go.
Walter Marzik. You know Walter. I love Walter. Frank, congrats on winning the 6-person match.
Yeah.
Sorry, AJP. Fight finisher.
That's right, baby.
All right, love Walter, though. He's the man.
To a fight without ready to finish it.
Yes.
That's right.
Grayson Flax.
Yeah.
The wrestling GOAT.
Yeah.
Favorite matches you've had in each company you've worked for.
Here we go.
4 minutes, so you got time if you want.
I got time. I got time. Heck yes. I'll
AJP. I'm sorry. Proving Ground. Who?
We'll go Proving Ground. We'll go. I'd have to say, man, Joey Warner.
Yeah.
I'd like to say Joey Warner. There was a couple others I've had that were really good, but I like my Joey Warner matches for sure. And then
RWA.
Sean Leader.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Nice.
I love that man.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
NRG.
I'd have to say what? Mike Grasser. Probably my best match That's a possibility. I had an underground one.
Mind race.
I had an underground one with Mike Montero, not in like under NRG, but not.
He was just here
under the lights, yeah. And Mike Montero's
great guy, man.
I owe a lot to him. You know, I haven't even mentioned his name yet, and
he's
not that he needs me to, because he does a hell of a lot on his own.
Dude, I didn't know.
You know what I mean?
I didn't know he was a 17-year vet. I did not know that.
These guys, and I know that once I hear them, I'll talk about that. All these guys have so many more years than me. I just got here.
And he's
great
work.
All I can do is shut up and listen.
One of the best in New England right now, and I'm not just saying that.
Yeah.
Because I don't just say that. If I think you're one of the best, then you are.
Yeah.
HAP is very, very good too, man.
He's great. He's
very good.
He's great.
And you are also.
And I'm yeah.
And what other companies have you worked for? NCW?
House of Bricks. It was a lot of tag team stuff.
Okay.
But I did have a couple great matches with Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Stephen Lambert.
Okay. Yeah. I've had a couple good ones with him, but it was a lot of team matches in House of Bricks. So it was just a lot of.
Yep.
It was a lot of learning that, but that's.
Yeah.
One of my, I love team matches.
Nice.
Brings the hype.
I wrote down a few names for the name game, and I kind of thought this was a really good list.
Name game.
Well, right there. Greedy, your cousin, Stephen Les, Stephen Broad, Brickhouse Baker. We've talked about all the Bakers.
I love them.
How about Jimmy Allen? Jimmy Allen, Trooper.
Okay, Trooper. Okay. These guys Yes.
Have you worked for New World Wrestling Extreme yet?
No. I've heard only great things from.
Jimmy's a great guy, man.
Other guys, Russo.
Yep, Steven Russo. Yeah, Steven worked for him.
He was actually just talking to me and was asking a date for me to see if he could try to get me in, whether it was that place or somewhere relatively close. But I think it was them. I see nothing but good things. Their whole setup looks great.
Jimmy's had this going for a while, man.
It's just
he's very well established.
Like I said, and right now it's like the indie scene is making a boost right now.
It really is.
I go, I mean, it's at minimal you get 100 or so fans. For
yep, absolutely.
So
all right, we got a couple other names. How about Bo Douglas?
Bo Douglas, hey man, he's awesome, man. He rented the ring for me a couple times, and I'll put something out there that he's said made me feel like $1 million, right?
Yeah.
I set up a ring, and then he didn't know whose it was at first. He comes in and he said, "Oh, Frank put it together. I don't have to worry about it." And that right there, see, that's the type of stuff. It's not all the matches I wrestle. It's that type of stuff.
Yeah.
That people know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I put the ring together, then he knows it's going to be safe when I leave it to you. You know what I mean? Whether I'm wrestling or not. And I pride myself in that stuff. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, Frank. Listen, we all got, don't worry about the time.
So great.
Promote your stuff right now.
Promote my stuff. I wish I had all the fancy, things, but I'm plugging it. I'm gonna plug Mr. Goodbars, the Wizard, right? His studio is right in Nashua. I got Nails Fest in Raymond, New Hampshire, and I'm wrestling all over New England.
There you go. Guys, Frank, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you so much, man.
We're out. Peace. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, I could use a little help to grow my YouTube channel. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe. That's most importantly, subscribe. Send me a direct message, and I'll give you a shout out here on the show. My YouTube channel is real simple. It's just my name, Leo Connors. Thanks in advance. Peace.